Hello folks and welcome back to Shogun Total War. I am Kanastep and this is going to be the last part of the historical campaign for Tokugawa Ieyasu. And this is going to be the Battle of Sekigahara, which is the biggest samurai battle of all time. It's an epic battle. It's going to be really hard for me. I'm trying to temper my expectations, right? This is an older game. What can they possibly accomplish? Well, they actually have done a pretty decent job of some of these battles have been well captured, I'd say, by the developers in this game. So it's hard to temper my expectations because yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised with a few of these. I guess perhaps even with like some of the battles that I wasn't really aware of. I didn't really know too much about the last battle, the Tomokuzin, which was very interesting. I really liked that scenario in this game, which is really fun to play. So this is going to be a big one. So before I talk anything about this battle, let's just kind of read the paragraph, because usually these paragraphs do a pretty good job of kind of explaining the situation. Tokugawa Ieyasu's eastern army met the western army of Ishida Mitsunari and his allies on a cold, wet day in late October 1600. The two armies almost blundered into each other in the fog, clashing in a narrow pass of Sekigahara almost by accident. Both armies were soaked through after the heavy rains, and neither side could see the other because of dense fog. It was an auspicious start to the battle that was to decide the fate of Japan for more than 2 centuries. In the early part of the day, however, the fog and rain began to clear, and a mud-soaked brawling battle commenced. By mid-afternoon, Ieyasu was counting the heads of his slain enemies, and nearly every challenge to his authority was gone. It is up to you to inflict an equally crushing defeat on the Western Army as Ieyasu and his generals managed. And the conditions? Pretty simple. Kill or rout all enemy forces. Ieyasu must survive. And if we look down at the army that I have available to me, it's not bad. Ieyasu himself is a 4-star general. He's going to be in a Kensai unit. As we saw in the last battle, the Kensai... This is different how they were in the campaigns. It's a single entity model in the campaigns, but in the last battle it was actually a 3-man like a 3-man unit, which is interesting. It gives him a bit more survivability, honestly, which is kind of nice. And other than that, though, so we have 3 muskets, and all I'm doing right now is like just rubbing my hands together, like, oh yes, give me that, give me that. Because yes, I got to use some muskets in one of the siege battles where I was the defender and it just wasn't even fair. So like this is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to just having some muskets here. And what, a couple archers, 2 naginata, 4 spearmen, and 1 nodachi samurai. I can use that. I already have a plan in mind for using that army. And then for my cav, 2 yari cav and then 1 naginata cav. So 2 like light scout cav and then a 1 heavy hitting. The naginata cav doesn't have the heavy armor of a heavy cav, doesn't have the high defense of a heavy cav, but it's a really good attack cav unit. Not too fast, but like, it has a good charge and has a really good attack, so I can do some damage with them. So looking at this, I will have an ally, and I'm just gonna be facing off against the 1 army. Now, the Battle of Sekigahara was very interesting because it was basically combining all of these different factions into, they coalesced into these 2 huge armies to side over, who's gonna, decide the fate of Japan. The person that I'm fighting up against, Ishida Mitsunari, was actually someone who took up the mantle of trying to make sure that after Toyotomi Hideyoshi's death, that Toyotomi Hideyoshi's son would eventually mature and become the new ruler, the new Shogun, I guess. I don't know if Toyotomi Hideyoshi was never officially the Shogun because he didn't have the bloodlines, but the next ruler in effect would be a Hideyoshi lineage, a dynasty, right? And Ishida Mitsunari was a loyalist. He was going to raise that kid and stay true to Hideyoshi's word, right? Tokugawa Ieyasu was like, I don't know about waiting on this kid to grow up, because Tokugawa Ieyasu had been a leader for a long time, and he had been a pretty shrewd commander, and he had the respect of a lot of the generals and the daimyos in Japan at that time. And unfortunately for Ishida Mitsunari, he just wasn't that popular, which is too bad. He was an administrator, right? He wasn't necessarily a warrior or a general. He was an administrator. And he was one of Hideyoshi's top administrators during the Imjin War. And I think that perhaps a lot of the daimyos and the generals that served in the Imjin War were frustrated with Ishida Mitsunari because there was this huge logistics issue with sending boats and troops and supplies over to Korea from Japan. I doubt that was really Ishida Mitsunari's fault, just because the Korean Navy really stopped the Japanese Navy. The Japanese Navy was not ready. You know, they had been fighting a land war for 150 years. They hadn't really developed their navies at all. So the Korean Navy really stymied that. And I wonder if a lot of that blame was put on this administrator, you know, the frustrations of starving armies and just, you know, being pushed back, you know, after these Japanese armies had taken the entire Korean peninsula, they got pushed back. And I wonder if there's some animosity they carried on over into this battle, because the fact that Ishida Mitsunari, despite that unpopularity, was able to still muster 80,000 people to fight against 80,000 of Tokugawa Ieyasu's people was rather impressive. However, during the battle itself, there was a little bit of a turncoat situation where a force that was supposed to descend upon Tokugawa Ieyasu's force from the flank, they had already decided, they'd kind of made a deal with Tokugawa Ieyasu that they were going to actually turncoat mid-battle and fight against Ishida Mitsunari. And that kind of happened later in the battle. Like, he kind of, I can't remember the name of this general, this daimyo, but he kind of sat on that mountain for a long time thinking about it, just trying to decide, you know, whose side he was going to fight on. And it's really interesting, like a big what if moment in history to wonder what could have happened if he had actually stayed true with his word to Mitsunari and fought against Tokugawa Ieyasu. But once he made that fatal decision to descend upon Mitsunari's Western Army, the battle was pretty much decided. So it's going to be a curious thing to see if there's any elements of that in this battle. We have seen in a previous battle a moment where one of the enemy armies was the turncoat army and they decided not to partake in the battle. So we've seen that before. So I wonder if that's going to happen here. Now, the fact that there's not like two armies listed here makes me think that maybe that's not the thing that's going to happen, but I don't know. So without further ado, let's just kind of jump on in and see what's in store for us. Fittingly so, we are fighting in the fog here, and yeah, so far this is looking pretty epic because we're just in this big old valley, this bowl, right? We're surrounded on all sides by forests on our left and right flanks, and then also forest, you know, right dead center. I'm hoping that the AI is just not going to hang out in the forest. That would be really, really unfortunate, but otherwise, I mean, it looks like it's pretty straightforward, right? You know, they might be right here and I might be right here, and let's just butt heads and go right on into it. So I got my guys already grouped up and ready to go. So just kind of begin the battle and just kind of get going right away. When fighting in the fog, it's going to be pretty important to get your army grouped up right away before you make any like moves on any positions. So I'm going to be doing this, and while I'm doing this, I also want to send my light cav out to do a little bit of scouting. That's another very important thing to do when fighting in the fog, when you don't have any vision. Now, something to keep in mind that I think that a lot of people don't know when they're playing this game or any Total War game. In fact, well, I can't say I'm familiar with any Total War game that's not Shogun or Medieval 1, but I think a lot of folks think that when they fight in the fog, it's just a disadvantage for the human player, right? Because our actual vision is compromised and we can't see as much, and we assume that the AI doesn't face any disadvantage because, you know, it doesn't rely on eyes to know where things are. And my understanding and my experience with playing this game is that the AI, typically when they do play or when they're fighting in the fog, it can be a confusing thing for them. They end up doing things that's a little bit off kilter and a little bit weird and a little bit like you might end up kind of bumping into them and their entire flanks might be facing you. And so it's important to keep in mind that the fog can be used as an advantage for the human player if you do play your battles intelligently. You know, you just scout a little bit and kind of find out where the enemy is. And if you can find them before they find you, you might be able to find an advantage. Now, in this case, it looks like they are just kind of straight on end ahead of me. And if they're not... Let's try that again. I just had another crash the desktop because I completely forgot to check to see if this battle suffered from that issue. So now, hopefully, I have edited the files sufficiently enough to where this battle should work. We will see. And luckily, I didn't get too far into that last battle to where that it would have made a difference. Okay, so I do have my allies coming in on my left flank. Okay, interesting. Maybe I should just march up the middle if that's going to be the case. Yeah, I completely forgot that I have an allied army in this one, and I wasn't even paying attention to that in the last battle. I was just kind of like, yep, it's just me versus him. But no, that is not the case. I do have allies, and true to fashion, they are just kind of rushing on ahead without really waiting for me to get, you know, formed up here. So, you know, interesting. They're taking that left flank. Maybe what I should be doing is like taking a wide loop around the right flank. That would be kind of the smart thing to do, I'd say. Just because I know this battle is kind of designed for like a head-on kind of, you know, little carnage here in the middle, but I don't. Tactically, you should go with the high ground, and the high ground is going to be around the sides, the left and the right flank, right? So let's do that. Let's just kind of stick to sound tactics. If my ally does distract them sufficiently enough, then perhaps what I can do is catch them from behind if they turn and face the... It's not the Oda clan. The Oda clan's like not really a thing. Yeah, man, they just went right in there. They're already fighting, so... I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush on ahead. I'm going to make sure I go all the way around, and... Looks like there is no one on this side, so they just like... I'm just seeing them like all in the forest, I guess. So, yeah, let's just kind of come up around this side and maybe engage. I feel like I do see them. I can't really tell. I think they are in the forest on this right side. So, yeah, let's stick to the high ground as well as I can. And let's get my scout cav out further ahead so that I can have better vision on what's ahead of me. Ooh, yikes. I'm seeing the my ally Daimyo rushing right on in. I mean, he's only fighting musketeers. Yeah, looks like he's keeping the skirmishers busy for the enemy. And yeah, they have a bunch of troops up here on the hill. So, yep, they got Nodachi. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He has Nodachi pushing in ahead of him. So they're going to be just fine, I think. And let's see, what else do they have? Spears, muskets, and is that it? Spears, muskets, and some Nodachi. How about I can send this area cav over to help them out, take out these musketeers here. That's going to be a nice, easy, free grab for me, I'd say. And let's keep scouting up here with this unit of Yari Cav. And yep, my army is still moving along here. But yeah, we are getting involved a little bit, so we are going to help cut down these musketeers. And where's the real juicy part of this army? Yeah, it's going to be tough using guns if we're all fighting in the forest. That's going to be not completely ideal. So I don't want to go in the forest with my calves. So let's kind of get out here. And yeah, you know, if my ally is just going to charge right into the forest, then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take my time and get set up so that I can use my army to its full effectiveness here. As we get closer to this forest, this is where things get a little bit dicey because I do really want to be able to use my muskets. I mean, you know how much I want to use these muskets. And I guess it looks like on this side, it looks like my ally is kind of clearing the enemy off so that I should have a good position to take somewhat even ground so I'm not fighting uphill here. And I should be able to come in here and... Yeah, it looks like these Yari Cav might actually get a good grab on my enemy Daimyo, my enemy general, or my allied daimyo, should I say. Let's keep bringing my Yari Cav. I guess I don't really need them to scout ahead on this side. So let's just kind of keep them in reserve here, along with my Naginata Cav. They can be my reserve pieces. And I got to make sure that my general keeps moving up as well. And then I have this unit of Cav as well on this side, just kind of scouting ahead. Looks like my allied army is mostly, yeah, Kobayakawa. He is fleeing. And I'm trying to think, Kobayakawa, he was the general that I was talking about, right? He was the guy that was a little bit undecided, and then he could kind of turn the tide during the battle. Was that him, or am I thinking of someone else? Because the way I'm thinking about this is that the way that these bugs have worked, when these crash to desktops have worked so far in these battles, is that they always deal with reinforcement issues. And seeing as how the first time when I tried to play this battle, that army wasn't there, right? And I think that's because he was supposed to be coming on later on in this battle, and now he wasn't supposed to be like rushing on like head on first thing. He was supposed to wait at a certain pivotal moment in this battle and then help me out eventually. Which it's too bad. It's too bad that these bugs are here, because that would have been an exciting thing, right? That would have been really interesting to play the battle in that way, the way that it was intended to be. And it is too bad that this hasn't been fixed, because what do we got? We got some contact up here. Yep, my Nodachi samurai are fighting their muskets. Okay, well, they're running away, as they should. And yeah, so on this side, what do we got? So we got like Naginata Cav are coming in for an extreme flanking attempt. So let's try to get my right flank here in position to deal with that. And then, yeah, Naginata Cav can definitely do some damage to me. And let's have my like Nodachi samurai in position to possibly flank on this side if we have to. And then on this side, I can kind of bring my Naginata infantry up to screen and protect for my Nodachi samurai. Here and then here. And then, yeah, my left flank is kind of like in an awkward position. They're kind of being left out. So let's bring them up like this, so they can get a wide flank in on the enemy. And I can keep using my Yari Cav just to kind of be my eyes and ears on this side. I don't really want them in the forest, but I don't really have a choice. So let's bring them up, and then let's make sure that my reserve Cav units... Again, I'm using my Naginata Cav as like a reserve unit just because it's not ideal to have them in the forest. So I'll just kind of wait until... Oops, they got engaged on my left side, so it looks like I don't even know if my guns got any shots in, so that's really too bad. So let's do this, and yeah, my spears should move up. And then let's flank with my Nodachi samurai into their Naginata Cav. Let's do that, let's do that. And let's bring my Yari Cav up to support against their Naginata Cav. And let's see, are my... Yes, spears, I need you to fight, please. And then, let's see, Naginata Cav, you can also come over to help out. This is going to be a big engagement here. Then what's happening on this side? So, okay, so their general is right there. So let's go in and fight that. Ooh, they got a big... Wow, I did not see any of this coming here. So, guns, please get back. And then, archers, also get back if you would be so kind. And then Yari Cav, are you going to be... Can I use you? Ooh, yeah, run down the Yari Samurai. Like, just run them down. Yep, totally. That's going to be the winning play. Well, not winning play, but that's going to help me out here. And I feel like I should, like, beat their Cav in the forest, because I'm using my spears right here, right? And then muskets. How can I use my muskets here? Get them around to the flank on this side? Is what I'm thinking. And how are we doing on this side? Are we... Yep, we drove them off. Perfect. So let's get my right flank kind of moving around like this. And make sure that they are running, because I need them to run here. And then my Nodachi Samurai, let's have you guys charging over to... Yep, Naginata are breaking on this side. So let's kind of break them and bring them and try to help out against the enemy general, because we have general on general combat right here. And I really don't want my general to die, obviously. So let's get my Yari Cav to come on over to help out on this side. Yep, help out there. And then my Naginata Cav also come over here to help out against their general. Yep, looks like we are driving away their heavy Cav. We were able to beat them. And let's keep pushing up with my left flank here. And yeah, we're pushing them off. Now it's just going to be a matter of making sure that my general does not die. So let's try to get my spears in to help out as soon as possible. Let's see, Nodachi Samurai, come down here and fight against their general. And then you guys come down here as well. And I wonder if I can actually try to extricate my general from this. Because, yeah, I do not want them dying. So I have my Naginata engage at will here. And this is getting really dicey. It's Kensai versus Kensai, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can get my guys out of there. And I can just kill their general. Yep, there he goes. Okay, thank God. He's running away. I was getting worried. I was like, I don't want to get to this point in the battle where I'm just like, okay, and my general just died. So let's try to kill the enemy general here, because I feel like he's the only one left. And that's it for Ishida Mitsunari. He's now dead. And I think it's just this one last Kensai left remaining, and that's going to be it for this battle. So yeah, it's too bad that it was bugged and it didn't work out the way that it was written, because it really, the potential was there, wasn't it? Like, it really could have and should have been, you know, a pretty decent battle. You know, a pretty decent scenario, I must say. I can speed this up here. And, are we just not gonna, what's going on here? Why isn't this battle over? Whoa, 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 what's happening? What's happening? Is there another force? Holy, okay, never mind. There actually is going to be another force. Okay, let's get my guys set up here. Yeah, it looks like we have ninjas coming in and just going after me. Yeah, we have ninjas coming in. Jesus. Okay, okay, I spoke too soon. Yes, there's reinforcements coming on. So let's try to get some semblance of formation here. Here, 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 and then here. Yeah, my God, that is some pretty intense shit right there. Let's make sure that my general is safe. My general's getting shot at. What's he getting shot at by? Ninjas, I guess. And then, yeah, Yarikav, come down here, please. Let's not give away any freebies here. So yeah, Yarikav, come down, and then you guys be my eyes and ears and just find out what's happening here. And then, yeah, Naginata. Wow, my Naginata have not lost a single person so far. Alright, what's happening in here? So, yeah, my muskets are running away. That's gonna happen. And, yeah, so we got ninjas coming in. I mean, 2 units of ninjas, and then what else is it? Like musketeers, some Yari Samurai. It doesn't seem like it's too threatening, honestly. I just have to get rid of the ninjas and... Yeah, let's get my Naginata Cav. I don't want them fighting the ninjas in the forest. Even though I know they can win that battle, they're going to get caught by spears here pretty soon. So, man, I was just kind of giving my full appraisal of this battle when, turns out, surprise, surprise, it's not over. So, I'm not sure what this is supposed to represent. I wonder, interesting. So, I know on Ishida Mitsunari's side, so like on the western side, the army... There's the Shimazu clan was on the western side, and they were pretty indecisive about like taking part in the battle. Pretty much like the entire. It says my general's getting shot at. That's really stressing me out. Like, are there ninjas back here? They're not. There's no ninjas in my back lines, are there? No. But yeah, as I was saying, okay, let's just send my guys forward and kill these ninjas. Let's just kind of get rid of them, because I feel like these Yari Samurai are running away at this point. I wonder if this is supposed to represent the Shimazu clan, because what they did was they didn't really participate in the battle. They were kind of pissed off by Ishida Mitsunari because of the reasons I was talking about before, where... Well, there was a few things. Like, during the campaign, I think that they disregarded a few of, like a tip or like a plan of action advice from the Shimazu daimyo. And so they were being a little... They were being a little huffy about it. Like, they're like, we don't know if we want to participate in this battle because we don't know if we like this guy. Yeah, they still got some forces up here. Like, I guess we have to go up there and fight them. But all right. But yeah, I wonder if this reinforcement is supposed to represent the Shimazu clan, because what ended up happening was when push came to shove, like, they didn't want to participate in the battle, but once the Eastern army started to win the battle, the Shimazu decided to fight a like a charging retreat. It was really kind of epic. Like they didn't run away. They charged through the enemy lines and broke through the enemy lines, and that's how they got away. And I wonder if this is what this is representing right here. Otherwise, I'm not too familiar with like what, like historically what this is supposed to mean. Okay, no, Jesus, we have some more units coming in from our left flank here. So let's get my cav away from these Naginata, and let's turn my left flank around to fend off against these guys. And then, yeah, Yari Cav, I don't want you fighting against the Naginata. That seems like a really bad fight for you. So let's bring down my spears to help. Okay, never mind. The Naginata are already running away, so you can turn around and chase them off. Yeah, so, okay, we have warrior monks sitting off in the forest on that side. That's terrifying. Yeah, what's going on here? What is this all supposed to... What does this mean? What is all this supposed to represent? Alright, yeah, Yari Cav, you get back, and... Yeah, we still have these forces sitting up here. Some Nodachi Samurai, some muskets, Yari Samurai. Alright, yeah, like not nothing, for sure. So I do have to be careful here. I want to make sure I don't lose track of my general. I need to make sure that he keeps up with the rest of my army so he stays protected and doesn't get singled out by a unit of warrior monks and just gets routed off. That'd be really unfortunate. Now it does appear that this right flank force is starting to descend upon us here, so we're going to have a little bit of a battle here. Let's get my Naginata infantry up on this side. I want to send this Naginata infantry. I'm kind of worried of this unit of warrior monks descending upon me when I'm not looking. But it looks like I'm safe for now. So let's bring my Yari Cav back over. And I can concentrate all of my forces on this side to fighting off the forces on this side here. And yeah, we do have Nodachi Samurai as well, and they can definitely hack through a lot of my forces. Let's try to use my spearmen on this side to kind of screen out the enemy in case they want to come at me. And I feel like my guns have been really ineffective. Like, I don't even know if... have they been able to shoot this entire game? Like, I feel like they haven't shot this entire game. This might be good, though. This might be a good shot right into the flank of the Nodachi Samurai here. That could be a really good play for me. So, let's see if they can get some shots in here. Oh, let's get my Naginata out of the way, actually. And there, yep, now they're running away. Perfect. That's what I needed to see. So, yeah, getting rid of, like, a full-strength unit of Nodachi Samurai seems really good. And once that's all taken care of, let's turn around and we can drive these guys off. And I know we have monks over here that we have to deal with eventually. It looks like on this side we just have to deal with like a few more. It's like 4 units of muskets and then this Yari Samurai. So I'm gonna have my Yari camp positioned down here so that when we do engage this unit of Yari Samurai, we can just kind of drive off the rest of the muskets. Easy peasy. My infantry is now engaged with, yeah, now the muskets are running away there. That's no issue. Let's just send, what are these Yari Samurai doing? Looks like they're kind of, I'm not sure if they want to engage me. So yeah, now that we're like clear here, let's send my cav up to engage these muskets on this side. And I can't tell if these Yari Samurai are going to run away or not. Kind of looks like they are. And let's see what's happening over on this side of things. What happened with that unit of warrior monks? I'm sending my Yari Cav out here to kind of scout around and poke around in the forest because the fact that I don't have eyes on them, it's making me a little bit nervous. I still have this flank kind of like providing overwatch just to, you know, make sure. I'm not going to overextend. I'm not going to just rush on blindly into a forest that I don't have any eyes on. No. That's not how I do things. But I'm going to leave this forest here just to kind of maintain position. And hopefully I don't get, you know, counter pushed and end up being driven back because this is a little bit precarious for sure. Like, I was tempted to bring this flank back and kind of like bring it closer to the rest of my forces just to kind of make sure I stay high and tight. But so far I haven't seen much. Here they are. Okay, so this is that unit of warrior monks. Now I have activated them because I've gotten close enough to them. And they're running away. That's it. They're just running away. And that's it for those warrior monks, I guess. So I guess we don't have to deal with that. Let's go back on over to this side of the battle and see what's left. Just another unit of musketeers, and it looks like that's probably going to be the last group because everyone else is running away. So, oh fucking hell! There's another unit of ninjas. Okay, here we go. Let's take these guys out, and yep, muskets are running away, and the battle's still not ending. I don't understand. All right, so there's clearly more people still on this battlefield that I need to find and hunt down. And it's just covered in forest, so sweet. Oh dear. Oh hey, there we go. Alright, we were just waiting for the last few guys to run off. Well, fine. Well, that could have been a lot better if it was actually, if it actually worked the way it was meant to. So I can definitely see what they were going for there. I get the concept, I see it. It's just too bad that the reinforcements don't work in these battles because of that patch that was introduced with, I think it was the patch that came with the Mongol invasion expansion that kind of fixed the way that reinforcements worked in campaign, and then that kind of like messed up the way that reinforcements worked in these battles, which is really too bad because I can see where they were going with this. I could see where they were going with some of the other battles as well. It would have been nice to get the full effect of how these battles were meant to be played. And even as is, like there was a couple of nice surprises, right, in this battle, but still, the fact is, once I did kill Ishida Mitsunari, once I did defeat him, it seemed like that did break the morale of the rest of the troops that were coming in, and they were easily driven off. So it's too bad that didn't play out as it was supposed to. And I'm not sure what was going on with my muskets. I feel like they weren't shooting at all. Like the entire, I got like one volley off on one of my units, and that was it. And you know that bums me out because man, I wanted to get some musket action, but fine, I guess. Oh well. Maybe with Toyotomi Hideyoshi's campaign, I will get some more battles with guns in there because that's what I love to play with in this game. I'm gonna have to play another Oda campaign sometime just to get some more musket action because I just love using them. So yeah, we can get exit out of this.
One name will always be remembered in my land: Tokugawa Ieyasu. This was the man who finally became Shogun. He brought an end to more than 100 years of bloody warfare. Brother would no longer kill brother. The land would know peace. His legacy was to recreate Japan as a country. He finally swept away the petty kingdoms of the daimyo and made one land in their place. His descendants ruled my land for another 250 years before our world changed again. The Tokugawa shoguns gave my land peace, but at a terrible price.
I keep forgetting about these videos. I keep forgetting that they added this production value into these campaigns. So I'm glad that I clicked on OK before I ended this video. But that is going to be it for this video. I'm looking forward to getting into the Toyotomi Hideyoshi campaign. But until then, I've been Kind of Steppin'. This has been Shogun Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.